I will answer the last question first. Fubara will be recalled. I believe that the president made it clear that Fubara will be recalled. If not, he would say so. If we bear in mind that from the moment this crisis started in Rivers State, that the Park was in the forefront of saying that this is wrong, and bearing in mind that he is a lawyer, that what happened in Rivers State is wrong. And if you also bear in mind that the president took this action based on information. Now, there is wrong information and there is right information. And I've always said that if you make a decision that is based on wrong information, you will, with all good intentions, you will end up making a wrong decision, because your decisions or actions or reactions to that information is what you are presenting. And if it is based on false information, then it will be wrong. Hence, you saw that there was so much reaction to the fact that there was a state of emergency that was declared almost 2 months ago in Rivers State. And we continue to maintain that the information that the president used, i.e. there was crisis in Rivers State, there was insecurity in Rivers State, and that there is a plan to blow up pipelines and all of that. Now, that was untrue at the time that the president made the declaration. It remains untrue. But coming to Chief E.K. Clark, in my opinion, definitely knowing whom Chief E.K. Clark is, he would not have been silent about a state of emergency being declared. Now, the president also, knowing whom Chief E.K. Clark is, the type of man that will even support the president if there is a need to support him on things or decisions that he will make. If Chief E.K. Clark believed that those decisions were right, he will support it. If he believes that those decisions are wrong, he will go against it. So knowing that Chief E.K. Clark is such a man, I believe that if Chief E.K. Clark were alive, that the president would have thought twice. If he had a relationship with Chief E.K. Clark while in the office of the president, which unfortunately he didn't, he would have wanted to have consulted with him, I should think, bearing in mind that Chief E.K. Clark is not just an elder statesman in the Niger Delta, in a Ijaw nation, but in Nigeria as a whole. He's considered, and rightfully so, as an elder statesman that you could actually approach for consultation, legal consultation, or consultations as to what should happen, what can happen in the Niger Delta, and what that can mean to the Niger Delta people. It's not that anybody would be afraid of Chief E.K. Clark, but Chief E.K. Clark represents the vast majority of Niger Delta as a whole, and people do take his position and his opinions about the Niger Delta into consideration. I believe that by now, even the president himself must be aware that perhaps the decision may have been hasty, but at the end of the day, we have to accept that he made that decision and that he whatever reasons that he made that decision, he made that decision. Now, what we are waiting for is really to see when the governor is going to, the suspension on the governor is going to be lifted. Don't forget, you can declare a state of emergency without actually suspending the governor. So he didn't have to suspend the governor, but as I said, we don't, at the end of the day, until the president actually comes out and says more than what he said on that day, we wouldn't be any the wiser today. But I wish E.K. Clark were alive. Don't forget that we had been, when I say we, I mean PANDEF, which is convened by Chief E.K. Clark in the Niger Delta years ago, had been to visit with the president, I believe on a Tuesday, which was the 11th of March. And the state of emergency was declared the following Monday. So, which was really 5 working days after we had visited the president. So even to people like us, even PANDEF was shocked, because the president had said, go and find a way to make peace between the politicians. It's about the politicians in Rivers State, between the politicians. He had already told us to do that. And PANDEF was in the process of doing that. They had already had a consultation, a visitation, a discussion with the governor, even before that time. So it really was a shock that a state of emergency was declared in Rivers State. But we need to move forward. And we believe in Rivers State, and we want in Rivers State that the president would by now and be considering the possibility of lifting the suspension on the governor and the deputy governor.
There's a groundswell opinion alleging mismanagement of Rivers State funds by the sole administration. What are the elders and Rivers people doing about it, if it is true?
Well, I'm a member of the Rivers State Elders and Leaders Forum, headed by Ada George, Chief Ada George, former governor, and supported, seconded by Sir Toby, who was a deputy governor to Dr. Peter Odilis in his regime. We definitely are listening and looking and hearing what is being said. And so now, at the end of the day, and that is why I also said earlier on in some of my interviews, that IBAS haven't been instructed to come to Rivers State and hold the fort in Rivers State, should have declared his assets. You don't just walk into a government without declaring your assets when the person who was there before you had declared their assets. That's one. Two, we're talking about humongous amounts of money. We're talking about billions that belong to Rivers State people. We're talking about a government that has bank accounts in Nigerian banks. So what we're even hearing, apart from the amount, what we're also hearing, and it is hearing, is that not only are we going to be asking questions about how much money did Governor Fubara leave when he finally left the government house. I'm not talking about raw cash that even a shopkeeper would have in the process of business. So a government should have cash on it as well in its government house. So we're not talking just about the cash that IBAS would have met, because there is no way that Governor Fubara, while taking his suitcases out, will also blatantly be carrying out whatever cash that was there. So we need to know how much did Governor Fubara leave, and Governor Fubara will confirm that. And we also need to hear from IBAS how much he met. We also want to know how much was in our bank accounts. And IBAS will also have to confirm that that is what he meant. But as far as the amount is concerned, the banks will be the people that will make the final confirmation, because it's in their custody. Now, we're also hearing, and it is hearing, that bank accounts are being moved from one bank to the other. That is wrong. So if these things we're hearing are true, then there is a need for even the president to be worried. I say that because the president has made the decision, and now if money goes missing, we need to let him know. He needs to know that there has been misuse of River State people's money. So not being a spokesperson of the Elders Forum, but being a member of the Elders Forum. All I can say is that we're discussing it, and we will continue to discuss it. What we will do is not up to me to say in this interview. It will be up to the gathering of the elders to make that public. But yes, like every other person, we have heard the same rumors that even media people are hearing. Somebody must be held accountable. If I recall what the president said when he mentioned him, I've never heard of him before in my life. But then I'm not a politician. I've never even heard of him when he was in service, and he was in, I think, in the eastern flank or of the Navy, the naval staff. But he had also worked within this environment, which covers all the way to basically the Riverine Niger Delta area. He had covered those areas as a naval personnel, as a naval officer. Now, I didn't even know about him at that point. This is the first time I'm hearing his name, and he has retired. But he has a military background. Now, if I remember, some of the things that the president said is that because there is this information that this and this is going to happen or is happening in River State, that he is supposed to come and step in. His coming to step in is to interact in River State in a way that will very quickly put an end to whatever that was said is going on in River State. By the time before he was 4 weeks old in River State, I had already said that he had already set fire to, he had poured petrol rather on the fire that he's supposed to have come to put out in River State. He has not done well, in my opinion, because at no time was he instructed to disband the IREC, for instance, which is the Rivers body that is supposed to conduct local elections in Rivers State. These appointments are made by democratic processes, by a democratically elected governor, whoever that governor would be in this instance. Some of those members have been there even before, I believe, Governor Fubara took office. So it's not even a situation where every governor that comes removes people that are there and appoint other persons. So the question is, why will he? What was his reason? What has elections, IREC elections, got to do with him that he removed those people and then appointed other persons? Now the question is, he's not from Rivers State. So if he is not from Rivers State, how did he know those people to appoint them? Does he know whether they are card-carrying members of parties or they're not card-carrying members of parties? What was his reason for tampering with that process? The second thing that he did that made me to say, and still make me to say, that he is making matters worse. He has made matters worse. He continues to make matters worse. He removed people within the civil service structure. He removed people within the democratic structures. That is not part of whatever he was told to come and do. He has made all these things worse. Now, when Governor Fubara comes back, and we believe and know that he is going to come back, when he does come back, if I were him, I will ask myself, who are these people that I'm going to be working with? How do I know they are competent? How do I know they will be able to do what they are supposed to do? So in a roundabout sort of way, he begins to find himself in the position where he was originally. If you understand what I mean, so the problems is being of Rivers State is being compounded by the actions that IBAS is taking. I heard him say that when he spoke to the House of Rep committee, that Rivers State is fragile. I don't understand what he means by Rivers State is fragile. I live in Rivers State. A lot of people live in Rivers State. If Rivers State is fragile, he should know. He came and made Rivers State fragile. From the time that Fubara became governor up till the time that he was suspended, well, I mean, Rivers State has started to take a coloration of progress. It was very clear. You could feel it. You could taste it. You could see it. There was quiet. There was peace. I mean, businesses were booming. Investors were coming into Rivers State. But since IBAS came, investors are moving out of Rivers State. That cannot be in the interest of Rivers State, and that cannot be good for Rivers State. If he wants a state to be unstable, he should go and do it in his state. He should be stopped from doing these undemocratic things that he is doing. So far, I believe that we now have about 3 different committees setting up 3 different committees from the Senate under any guise is worrisome. Those people will either come to Rivers State or IBAS and his team will go to Abuja. They will spend Rivers State money. He will not spend his own personal money. He will put his hand in Rivers State money. He will buy airline ticket or as it is done in Nigeria, he will rent a jet. If not, he will use Rivers State government jet and fuel it with Rivers State money. He will stay in a hotel, the best hotel in Abuja, which is the Hilton. He will have security. He will pay for them. They will eat. They will be given sitting allowance. When you begin to calculate how they will get there, if he is going there, and how the committee, the so-called committees or committee that are being set up willy-nilly, if they are coming to Rivers State, it's still Rivers State people's money that they are going to use. They're not going to use National Assembly money. They will use Rivers State people's money. They will use my money. And then I have a question, a right to ask a question. Why is this necessary? What have we done to deserve strangers unnecessarily dipping their hands into our funds that we believe is not even enough? As far as I'm concerned, when you look at 13% derivation, when you look at state allocation, when you look at local government allocation, we're getting less in local government allocation. Other states that have more local government, like Kanu has 44, Rivers State has 23, Kanu is getting 44 local government allocation. We that own the allocation that they are getting are only getting 23 in the case of Rivers State. So when you combine all these things, these are the things that people should be able to think about and consider. And if people are don't have that information to think about and consider, then it is my responsibility to be able to let people know that these are the things that you should, the questions you should be asking. Why is it necessary for these committees to be set up? And I also want to ask Ibas, does he really believe that he's going to spend 6 months in this state? And if he believes so, why does he think he has to spend 6 months in my state, in our state? To do what? We've said it clearly over and over again. And I believe that by now the president also is very clear that the people of Rivers State want their governor back, and that's why I believe that he will act on that call and on that call of Rivers people to bring him back. Let us not forget that apart from party politics and personal politics, the president today has been known all his political life, even before he came into politics, as the governor of Lagos State. He was known to have fought for the rights of people, Nigerians, to have democracy in Nigeria. I don't believe that this same person, the president, who is known as a Democrat, will at some point turn around and become undemocratic. And that's why I believe that the governor of Rivers State, Siminalayi, will come back. But we want him back as soon as possible. The sooner the governor is made to come back by the president, the sooner Rivers State will get back to where we were stopped. Rivers State is standing still. I don't know how anybody else thinks about it. Rivers State is standing still. There is no funds in Rivers Rivers State. And it begs the question then that how was it that there was funds in Rivers State, and now that Ibas is here, there is no money in the pockets of people? Because the Governor Siminalayi, was paying, he was not owing anybody. And whatever project he was doing, and he started, it doesn't matter who started the project, it's Rivers State people's project. And it doesn't matter who started the project, it's being paid for with our money. what we want is good roads. Like I come from Akukutoro local government area, the Riverine area. And for as long as I can remember, that road you take, I don't know whether you've ever been to Buguma or Abonima or Degema. For as long as I can remember, from Obasanjo's dispensation in 1999, that road has been in that state. And so the governor of Rivers State has already started the process, has paid quite a huge amount of money. Yes, for us, rightfully so. And now that work is basically at a standstill. And then something else we must ask IBAS is that I don't understand. Why is he going around inspecting projects? I mean, these things are paid for. The president was told that there was no provision being made to allow the state assembly members who were not able to sit in their original place of sitting, that he had done nothing. But Ibas himself went there and said that the work is more than 80% finished. I believe it's more than that. It's paid for. Why is he interested in Songhai farms in 6 months? He is not the governor of Rivers State. What does he know about Songhai farm? Why is he interested in budgets? He's not the governor of Rivers State. Why is he interested in the budget of presentation of Rivers State? And whom does he want to present it to? The people that are supposed to receive the presentation are also under suspension. So really, who are the people? Why are they going to present it only to him? If they said it was wrong for it to be presented to 5 persons, is it right for it to be presented to IBAS? If you are sitting in Abuja or in Rivers State's government house and you're having discussion with IBAS as a committee, and the interests of Rivers State persons, people, men, women, children, traditional rulers, local government area representatives are not there, you're not doing anything for Rivers people. You're asking a man who does not know about Rivers State questions about Rivers State. He cannot give you an answer. So that money that will be spent to ask these questions, who is authorizing that money? Because IBAS is not the governor of Rivers State. Whatever monies that have been spent from the day that the president made this declaration of suspension of the governor of Rivers State, till the day IBAS leaves, IBAS will give account to the people of Rivers State. The people who are members of those committees will give account to not only Rivers people, to Nigerians, because they come from different areas of Nigeria. So the conclusion I can come to now, today, with the information that is available today, is that there is a preparation and has been a situation where Rivers State people's money is being spent, and Rivers State people are not aware of why that money is being spent and where the money is going. Like I said, IBAS took 2 Hiluxes, 1 bus from the deputy governor. Where are those vehicles? Are they in government house? Yeah, has he assigned it to another person? Or has he sent it to another state? These are very germane and genuine questions. If he answers them, and we can see the vehicle, and we know that those are the vehicles. It will put an end to those questions. These committees that have been set up, what really at the end of the day are they hoping, are they aiming, are they directed to achieve in Rivers State? There are states in Nigeria that what is happening in Rivers State should be happening in their state, not in Rivers State. If you consider, if this is based on insecurity, for instance, if this is based on insecurity, what took place in Rivers State, why IBAS came into Rivers State is because of insecurity or fear of insecurity. We have terrorists in 3 or 4 key northern states right now that have hoisted their flags in those states that are Nigerian territory. I think the military ought to move in there, not just a retired naval officer. 7 officers in the military should be in those states defending the territory of Nigeria and the property and people of Nigeria in those states. There was nothing going on here in Rivers State apart from the fact that there are a handful of Rivers State people and a handful of non-Rivers State people who are politicians, who want their political will, their few political will, to overwhelm the majority of Rivers State and Rivers people. Full stop. See, if the president of Nigeria today, and I've heard him say that people should stop campaigning. People should stop campaigning in his name. I've heard him say so, because he could be disqualified. I heard him say so. But there is campaign going all over the place. I've seen billboards. I just came back from Abuja. There are billboards in Abuja. There are billboards here in Port Harcourt, in my street, in Olu Obasanjo, in all over here in GRA. That's campaign. And I think that they should listen to the president, because I've heard him say it. To be fair to the president, I have heard him say that people should stop campaigning, that this is not time for campaign, and I agree with him. You know, but this is all about 2027. But you know, the majority of Rivers people are behind Siminalayi Fubara. More than 80%. I think even more than 90%. The first question I want to ask him is that, number one, where are the 2 Hiluxes and the bus that he went and took, confiscated from a rightfully elected, along with the governor of Rivers State, his deputy? Why did he go and seize those vehicles, take by force those vehicles? It doesn't make sense. Those vehicles, she didn't steal them. They were assigned to her. So he should explain to us why he did that. Look, Rivers people have a right to ask questions and get truthful answers. I have said that politically, any state, but particularly Rivers State, cannot move forward unless we're prepared to speak the truth and accept the truth to ourselves. Who next? Is he also going to go and take some vehicles from the governor of Rivers State? I don't know. You know, so he's doing things that can only happen within a military era, or happen without a court order. We are in a democratic dispensation. Both the governor and the deputy governor are covered by immunity. So even if you want to do anything to the governor or the deputy governor, it has to be done by law. And so there is a place where the law will stop you because you can't go any further. Now, Ibas is behaving as if he was given military orders. At no time was he given military orders. Yes, he has a military background, but we are in a democratic dispensation. And this is not a military takeover, but it is definitely feeling like a military rule in Rivers State. And we reject that because we cannot have a state that is supposedly democratic and then have a military rule imposed on that state. So again, until I am told that I am wrong, Ibas is wrong to go and take the vehicles that has been assigned to the deputy governor. It was not part. It's not part of what he's supposed to do in Rivers State. Two Hiluxes and what bus? What I mean? Are Rivers people crying for the Hiluxes and the bus? If 80 to 90% of the persons in Rivers State are in support of Siminalayi Fubara, it concludes, therefore, that when 2027 election comes along, whether Fubara is in PDP or not, those people will vote for the president of Nigeria if Fubara says they should vote for the president of Nigeria. So when it comes to Rivers State, I can't speak for another state. When it comes to Rivers State in the Niger Delta, the president should have no fear. He should have no worries. There is no way that Siminalayi Fubara will tell Rivers people, vote for this person or that person, and we will not do it. I will. And I know that others that support, why will I do so? Because I want peace and quiet and tranquility in my state. So I hope that puts to rest, if the president has those concerns, I hope it puts to rest to him that we, the people of Rivers State, have nothing against him becoming the president of Nigeria in 2027, because it still rotates in the southern part of the presidency is still in the southern part of Nigeria.
There's one part of the question. Him going to Abuja to beg his godfather Wike. Doesn't that sound like betrayal to his massive support base that you are talking about?
Let me put it like this. I do not believe that there was begging as it is being put out in the social media. Now, these are politicians. I'm not a politician. And kneeling down is not part of the culture of Rivers State people. And Christians, majority of Christians, find it disloyal to the God that we worship. If you want something and then you're kneeling down, people do it. I'm not saying that people don't do it. I'm saying that the majority of Christians don't do it. And it will be offensive to them. Now, going back to the person of Siminalayi Fubara, kneeling down or not kneeling down, let us also not forget that the FCT minister himself, when he wanted from local government chairman, he said it with his mouth. He didn't say he knelt down. He said he lay down on the floor for Mrs. Dr. Peter Obi when her husband was governor, and he was they removed his name from the list. He said he lay down. So he himself is not new politically to the idea of kneeling down. He has knelt down severally. He has knelt down to Patience Goodluck. He has knelt down to publicly self. He has knelt down to Dr. Peter Obi. So now, if he has knelt down. What is all this talk that he went to beg Fubara? He started the begging himself to other people when Fubara was accountant in Rivers State. When he was accountant in Rivers State, not when he was governor. That's why I say they are politicians. So now, if peace is what we're looking for in Rivers State, I don't even, I mean, even the idea that we can find ourselves in a state like Rivers State where we are looking for political peace by people that either supported to bring somebody as governor or for somebody that we voted for. I find it incredible that we have been, the people of Rivers State have been reduced to this level where the people of Rivers State are hungry. People are not being paid. Hospitals are not functioning well. Education is not going well after Fubara was removed. And what supporters of the Federal Capital Territory Minister is now talking about is that Fubara is kneeling down to him. Is he God? The people he knelt down to, were they God? You see, it is a pity that Rivers people, it seems, are not going to be allowed to vote for a representative they want. I am from Akukutoru local government area. I will not, the type of peace I'm hearing that is being sought or reconciliation, who is doing reconciliation over the people's head? Are the people, if it's reconciliation, should the people not be involved in reconciliation? We are the people that are the victims. We are victims. So we should be involved in the process. Why should I not be able to choose between an APC candidate in my local government if I believe that he or she is better going to represent me at the state assembly? Or why should I not choose a Labour? Or why should I not choose a PDP person? Why should that right be taken away from me? Why am I now hearing that the allocation of representation will be shared? Shared by who? I'm the one who's supposed to be voting for somebody to emerge to represent me in the state assembly. Why should I wake up and hear that somebody I know that is incompetent, for instance, is the one now going to represent me at the state assembly? Because if that is what reconciliation means, then I think we have, politically, we have turned the right, the democratic and constitutional right of the people on its head. And that, I do not believe, will take Nigeria anywhere. But if that is what is going to be agreed to, and it ends up being in the interest of the people of Rivers State, then that is what the people of Rivers State would have accepted. Then it will stand. My own opinion is that things should be done properly, in the right manner that it should be done. We should not have a situation where politics becomes a family business. We shouldn't have a situation where it is now the right of a father to impose his son or his daughter on the people of any state. But if you begin to look, that's what's happening politically, not just in Rivers State. But we're not blind. We can see what's beginning to happen in politics. And we can begin to see that fathers are preparing their children to go into politics. Okay, so all those followers that have been following the person who is preparing his son or his daughter for politics, all the other rightful persons of that state that are preparing themselves for their children to follow in their footsteps, What about the people that have been following them for 10 years, 20 years? Also, those people don't deserve to go into politics. So why are those people supporting them? So now, who is the fool?